days, and they had one book of bhajans which had a lot of mistakes in them, but on page 1 there was a list of do's and don'ts, well, especially the don'ts I looked at, and one of them was do not sway or move when the bhajans are on. And I knew this was going to be a problem for me, because even when, in the days when I could be sitting cross-legged, when the bhajans are going, I'm going like this. So I have disregarded, I always say rules are meant to be broken. if you feel it right in your heart. So I'd like to start though with a song which actually I wrote, but the lyrics of what I write, a lot of them you will recognise, because, especially this one because it's called Start the Day with Love. And I actually put it together for when I bought a choir to put a party. I wish I could remember how many years ago it was, not a few years ago. Was it 10? Right. I have no things with numbers. If it's got music to it, I know what I'm talking about, but numbers, I failed in mathematics. I got 5 out of 100 when I was at school. I look at them and there's a sort of fuzz on the page in the days when things were on paper and pen. Anyway, I'd like to start the day with love because that is the best way to do it. So let's go for it. Do you know, I could hardly sing that last few lines, because when I think about Swami's, like I told you, if I have any emotion, I'm going to have to start reaching for a handkerchief or something. It makes me want to cry, and especially if I think about Swami, and then I can't sing. So please, Swami, switch me off so I can be professional. But I know there are no children here today, but I do want to say for all of you that sing bhajans, Swami once said that the best way to sing bhajans is not sort of belting it out loud, just to know that you can get from A to Z in one piece. Imagine that he's standing right in front of you, and that you could actually put your hand on his feet. And then when you imagine that, you will sing the words of the bhajans with so much more tenderness and love. It's just a little tip from the old master that I got from the big master. Anyway, I'm going to tell you some stories of bonkers things that happened to me in Puttaparthi. One year I turned up, and I think it was for Swami's 76th birthday. So having been there on the 75th, which is another whole story which I'll tell you about, I had loads of musicians with me on the 75th, but for the 76th I arrived on my own, and Swami comes over and he says, "Where are your musicians?" And I said, "Swami, I haven't got any. I come alone." He said, "I will send you boys." Now, this is a great, great honour because, you know, I'm an overblown red henna-haired Westerner, and his golden boys were never allowed to mix with the Westerners. But that afternoon, at the house where I was staying, which was given to, Swami gave it to this amazing woman called Rajmata, who's sadly no more on the planet, but I was told, Swami said, "That's your house, you must stay there when you're here." So they had a back room, perfect for rehearsing. That afternoon, 6 boys, and a teacher turned up, and a guy whose name I won't mention, but he wasn't an Indian. He was sent along to be a chaperone. I mean, as if I needed a chaperone, or maybe the boys did, but anyway, so they all sit down and they get their instruments out, and they've been told what to learn. These boys had never played Western music, and I said to them, you know, they really didn't know this kind of music that I was doing. And I actually said, "I really can't work with this blob of a chaperone," I mustn't say that, guy sitting there as a chaperone. I said, "I'm here as a musician. These boys are musicians. We don't need a chaperone." He looked grief-stricken, and I told him to leave, actually. The moment he left, all the boys relaxed. Because when you're doing music, you don't need to be looked over by anyone. You're playing for Swami. So we rehearsed. We rehearsed away sometimes in this back room. Occasionally we would rehearse in the Purna Chandra Hall when it was empty. And the curtain of the Purna Chandra Hall was behind us. I'd be sitting facing these marvellous sort of pure golden boys, and they had been really working hard. And sometimes they'd be playing and then they'd just stop. And I had a feeling something had happened. And I'd look round and Swami would be peeping out of the curtains. And sometimes to trick people, he'd open the curtain down there, because he always had a sense of humour. He was hilariously funny sometimes. And then sometimes he'd come and sit on the side of the stage with these boys, by this time playing, but of course they're not looking at me by this time. Everyone looks at Swami, quite rightly. Anyway, one day, a few days before the concert, he called me over to where he was, and he said, "I'm going to come to the house on Thursday. Make sure that you're ready with the boys, but don't tell anyone." Well, I had to tell the lady of the house, because obviously it was a sort of panic cleaning up everything, and we had to provide food. Although we weren't told to, we knew it was the thing to do. So the room where we were rehearsing was probably about the size of this area, and the room where Swami would be arriving was a big long table, probably about a third of the size of this part of the room. And I had to tell the boys, because everyone had to be in their best whites, you know, you couldn't have a stain or something down the front. We were all ready, and the food had been prepared, and we'd been told maybe there'd be about 15 people. In the end, there were about 50, it all squeezed into this space. But the table had loads of nicely 15 plates of savoury stuff, and little bowls of payasam, or what you sometimes call kheer. Now, everyone knows that I'm bonkersly mad about payasam. If anyone dangles a bowl of payasam near me, I'm theirs. I'm right there. I adore the stuff. Anyway, we were in the little room practicing away, and you could almost feel his energy coming in, because one by one, the boys just put their instrument down, and then I turn around, and there's Swami. He goes to sit on his chair. And I said to the boys earlier, I said, when we do the concert, I'm going to introduce each one of you name by name. And they all looked horrified, grief-stricken. They said, you can't do that. We don't do it that way. You have to say we're just Swami's students. And I'm thinking, this is not right. They're musicians. Well, they are his students too. Anyway, Swami comes in, sits down on the chair, and he looks at the boys. He said, now, Dan is going to introduce you name by name for the concert. So I felt good, because they should be honoured, these wonderful boys. What I had also been saying was that there was Sai Prakash is his name, and he doesn't mind me telling this story because he now works in the video thing, and he's very busy in Sai media stuff. But then he was, this young boy, and he'd only just learnt to play sort of the sitar. And every day at rehearsal he'd be twang, 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 out of tune, fiddling with the thing. He couldn't get it together at all. And I said to the lady of the house, I said, how are we going to do this concert? This boy can't even tune his blasted instrument. I felt awful saying this, but he just twang, twang, twang. So after our rehearsal, there was that table with the 15 plates, and there was a row of seats. And Swami was handing out the savoury food to everyone. And I'm standing right behind Swami, and I actually thought, oh, Swami, I don't want to eat this savoury stuff. I'd love a bowl of paisam. And without missing a beat and without turning round, he reached forward, took the bowl of paisam, gave it a stir, handed it to me, and then went back to passing out the savoury stuff. So I'm telling you this story so that you have to be careful what you think about or what you want. You might just get it, it may be good for you, but be careful that you don't want something that is not good for you. Well, obviously having paisam handed to you from Swami is extremely good for you. So anyway, there was the row of seats, and Swami sat down there, and there were empty seats here, and I was thinking, well, I didn't dare actually go and sit right next to him. I thought that would be too much, so a bit too over-familiar. So I sat with a gap in between us, which I thought was sort of suitable. And while I'm sitting there, suddenly this boy, Sai Prakash, we finished eating those Swami hardly ate anything, of course. This boy rushed into the other room, came back with a little silver box in his hand, and he held it up to Swami. I think he had cloves or something, whatever people chew. I don't know what it could have been, but Swami took one and chewed on it. As I wasn't looking at Swami then because I was far too close to him, I looked at Sai Prakash's face and I saw so much love and devotion, it shook me to the core. I realised that this is what Swami always meant. The way to see God is to see him in everyone else. It's easy to see God when you look at Swami, but you have to see him in everyone else, even your enemies, everyone else, because we are all one. And I swore to myself when I saw him hand this box to Swami, or hold it up to him, I said to myself, I don't care if this boy's got his sitar with no strings on it. I have just seen love in action, and it really moved me. And do you know what? On the day of the concert, he was pitch perfect. There was no twang, twang, twang and tuning. He played everything marvellously. And I was there in Puttaparthi in November, and he came and played the sitar to me in the room where I was staying, because he said he'd been given a sitar. He'd been offered a sitar by Swami about 25 years ago, and it somehow never materialised, and he never knew what had happened to this sitar. And a few months before I got there, somebody in Vrindavan had said, oh, but there's this Swami's old sitar, what are we meant to do with it? And somebody said, I think it's got to go to Sai Prakash. So now, 20 years he waited, finally he got Swami's sitar, which he plays every day. Anyway, I'd like to do a song for you called Om Shakti. Actually, I played it at the 75th birthday, not with these boys, but I just wanted to tell you this story about seeing love in everyone, because these days we see so much anger, and people are so angry at the world. Everyone's dropping bombs and hating everyone, and they have completely missed the point of why we're here. Because I always think, if you took a drop of water from a puddle or something and you put it under a microscope, you'd see millions of wiggly things all rushing around in this tiny little drop, put the drop back in the puddle or the ocean, and we become one. It's the moment we feel there's a difference that we have troubles. I mean, look at the world today. I don't even like to switch on the news. People hating each other. Anyway, I'd like to do Om Shakti because I now have introduced it into my blues evening of doing blues music. And I was a bit worried about laying this on my blues musicians because it's not their normal style. But now it's one of our favourites to perform, well, theirs, or they say, and the audience love it. I don't actually say who it's for because I actually think it doesn't matter whether we have Swami or whoever the religion is, just be a better person. Swami always said, I don't care if there's no religion, just be a better person. So I try and get Swami's teachings. I think I might stand up for this because I might even do this. I'm happy to see that the lead of this microphone is in my favourite colour, which is purple. So let us do Om Shakti. No, before we start, I must tell you, to sing Om Shakti, I don't know if any of you have seen it, it's on, what do you call it? It's on YouTube.
Yes, please.
And if you punch it in, it is quite impressive. Not because they'd come to see me, but there were 1 million people, apparently, in the audience. And I've been with people, I remember when Sieng, who's out there pressing buttons and things, when he first saw this, when the camera pans round, and you see the 1 million people, he literally rose out of his chair and went, holy mackerel, actually, or something, or words to that effect, because people don't believe that such a big crowd can be there, and it was amazing to sing. And Swami was sitting just there. Of course, I don't look at Swami when I'm singing. I mean, I can see a bit peripheral vision, but I don't stare because A, I'd lose the plot completely. And as I said, I'm not here to sing to him because I think he's always inspired me to write my songs, so it's for him and for you. Om Shakti. Om Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Om. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Om. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Om. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Om. There's only one religion, and that's the one of love. There's only one creator, below and above. And there is only one world and one reality. And there is only one heart that beats for humanity. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Om. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Om. There's only one language that comes from the heart. There's only one director, and we play our part. Yeah. Now there is only one God, and He is universal. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Om. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Om. Om Shakti, Om. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Om. Whenever I sing that song, I have to inwardly thank Swami for me being lucky enough to write such. I mean, obviously the lyrics come from him. His wisdom, just, he could say so much in 4 words. I keep thinking, love all, serve all. What more do we need? It's all there, and so simple. Anyway, I'm just looking to see. Okay, we're now going to do a song. Where is Seeing? Is he there? Listen. Move your body. Right. I'm only telling because he's got to look up on the list. This is a song that I wrote actually when I was yearning to find something to guide me in life. This is before I knew about Swami. And it was the only song that was ever actually a big hit for me. It was a hit across Europe. It was never released in England. I could never get anybody interested in my songs in England. And then one time Swami said, called me over, he said, this might have been the 77th birthday, I can't remember. I get a bit lost over this, but it might have been one of those nights when Parveen Sultana was on too. And I'd been told, Swami said, you know, you must do these 5 songs, because I'd offered the titles. No, these 5 he kept. Whenever he came past, these 5 songs, he made it very clear about the 5 songs. And on the day of the concert, in the Cycle One Hall, I had the lyrics printed out at the last minute, because I didn't even think of doing that. And they were handed out to everyone in the hall. And about 10 minutes before I was about to sing, I'm standing inside the mandir, sort of at the back where there's Krishna and Arjuna, and he's on the chariot and the horses, and I'm just there thinking, oh Swami, please sing through me, which is, I always ask for him to sing through me so I won't make a complete mess of things. And suddenly one of the quite high up in the organisation, that he's no longer there now, or two of them, and they're no longer there, came up to me with this piece of paper in their hand, and they said, you can't possibly sing this in front of Swami. This is completely unsuitable lyrics. I said, but these are the ones he chose, so no, it's impossible. I said, well, what am I to do? I'm about to start in 5 minutes actually. And he really put me in a pickle, I think you might say, over an Indian expression. So they said, no, you can't. And I said, right, I will ask Swami before the concert starts. So they left, convinced that they had convinced me, and I stood in front of the statue of Swami in there, and Krishna actually, and I said inside, oh, please protect me like Draupadi and the sari, that went on forever. Please don't leave me looking in a really this really made me nervous. It's the last thing I needed before going out to sing. I don't normally get nervous, but this made me in an awkward situation. So I go out, I put my rose petals on his feet. Well, I think I probably dropped them. I've got another story. I'll talk about the rose petals a little later. And I said, Swami, what do I do about these 5 songs? Do you want me to do this song? He said, you do this song. So I went and sang it, and I'm going to do it for you now. And well, I could say maybe it's not suitable, but if Swami tells you to do something, you do it. And my boys, well, his boys actually, who were playing with me, not once did they feel that the lyrics were unsuitable. They knew that I was singing about love. And it's called Move Your Body Close to Me, because every single person in the hall wanted Swami to move his body closer to them so they could touch his feet. It seemed highly appropriate to me, and I'm amazed that these two guys found inappropriate things in it, because I only ever write things out of, well, in a way, love, and I feel pure when I write my songs, because well, this one was written before Swami, but the moment he entered my life, I knew who I had been writing about. And the postscript to this story is that the following year, I was actually ill and landed up in the super specialty hospital with an ear infection that made me completely dizzy. I was completely gaga and spent the whole birthday in the hospital. And a few people said, oh, well, it's because you sang that song last year. But Swami didn't want you to do it. But he rectified that by putting me to sing nearly every birthday after that. And in fact, every birthday since the 70th birthday, he did ask me to sing, but now he's physically not there. The organisation don't always think of asking me. I won't say any more about that. But anyway, I'd like to do for you now the unsuitable but sung and written with love song, Move Your Body Close to Me. Move your body close to me. Move your body close to me. Touch heart to heart, don't ever part. Won't give in. Move your body close to me. Move your body close to me. Reach out to feel that it's for real. Won't give in. Move your body close to me. How can Move your body close to me. Move your body close to me. Touch heart to heart, don't ever part. Won't give in. Move your body close to me. Move your body close to me. Move your body close to me. Oh, Swami, I love you. Oh, Swami, we love you. So move your body close to me. Move your body close to me. Move your body close to me. Let the sun rise on the world. Move your body close to me. Thank you. Well, you can see how probably there would have been a few people slightly confused in the cycle once more. But I don't care. I sang for Swami and he didn't mind either. I can see what you're going to do. Go for it. It's always important. Yes, now, and by the way, I will, so that I'm keeping an eye on the time, I think, except I can see through these bangles. Right. So I need to, because I know a few of you want to ask me some questions. Actually, put your hand up if you've got a question now. Anybody got anything? I know somebody wanted to ask me something. Oh yes, tell me. Speak loud, because they've all got to understand.
So you are not be fortunate to have met Swami in person and receive his blessings and he has transformed your life. I'm talking on behalf of parents and also children post-COVID who have gone into social media direction. How would we introduce Swami or spirituality in general to these children, especially in UK? I can't speak for others.
It's the same globally. I don't know if you could hear at the back. How do we get Swami into their lives, because there's so much on social media? Do you know I'm completely the wrong person to ask, because I hate anything to do with social media and I'd rather never look at a screen. Having said that, I know that everyone spends all their time. I don't know the answer. I personally think it'd be good to ban mobile telephones from schools till you're 16. I think it's a great idea. But I'm sure there's lots of children who are going, oh gosh, no, because they're addicted to TikTok and Snapchat and all the rest of this time-wasting stuff. And I do know that when I've looked at it, and the algorithms are so clever, because they know just when you finish seeing something and you think, well, I'm going to switch it off now, and then comes something else that they know that you're interested in. You have to watch out, it's really dangerous. I don't know how you tell children this, because I know that when I was young, I never listened to anybody who was older, so I don't know why any child would listen to me as well. I mean, I was very lucky because I had parents who were extremely liberal. They let me do, there I was at 15 making records and out on the road singing with my guitar. And I don't think they realised the horrors of being on the road. I was having to hitchhike to concerts because I obviously didn't drive and there were no trains going to somewhere. But these days, nothing is safe. I don't even like to go out at night in London because somebody's going to get stabbed. I actually don't know, and I wish I could answer this. I think it's the sort of question you have to ask Swami because he's going to give the right answer, and I'm going to say rules are meant to be broken and don't listen to your parents because they don't know what they're talking about. But children don't listen to their parents. They're more likely to listen to their school friends at school. So unless you can get a lot of school friends all saying, we don't want to do this. But I don't know, has anyone here got the answer? No, you see, he's the only one with the answer. Unless you have Swami in your life, I think a lot of young kids are going to go, seriously off the rails, because the worst kind of temptations are being dangled in front of their eyes. Maybe you can try and get them to do something that gets them out of the house. And I was very lucky. I learned to be a water skier and became a junior British champion for 4 years. I did riding, I did sports. Anything that gets children away from this blasted machinery. And it's so bad for the eyes. You think you're young, you think you're going to live forever. I know, I was young, I thought nothing is ever going to affect me. When you get old, you start to wear glasses, limbs and aches, and things are being replaced in your body. And the worst thing is when I see young girls, puffed out lips, faces that are completely awful. They're 26 and they're 23, and they should wait till they're older when you really need an operation like their hips. Wait till you really are in pain. But I see this on young girls, but I do know you can't tell young people anything. So I'm the wrong person to ask because I don't have the answer. And you had did you have a question for me?
As a musician, when you're writing for Swami, what did you do if you ever experienced a musical block?
She asked, have I ever had a musical block of what to write? It's never happened to me. Touch wood, it's never happened. I've been writing songs since I was 11. It's what I do. Every time I've had an emotion of any sort, be it good or bad, I used to go and write songs. I write less now than I did when I was younger, because when you're younger, you're full of angst, or you think you're in love with someone or something, and you grow up and you realise, oh God, what a dreadful mistake. My father always said to me, if say you've got a daughter and she's got a boy she's rather keen on, but you think he's a complete waste of time and really bad for her, the best way is to invite him in, be loving to him, and suddenly your daughter will go, oh, I'm not sure if I like him so much after all. My parents like him, there must be something wrong with him. So I've never had but I have very wise parents who let me do things and make my own mistakes. Sometimes it's important to make your own mistakes because you do learn from your mistakes more than things going right, actually. So I've never had a musical block. And of course, I only have to think about things that Swami has done in my life, and I'm charged with writing something marvellous and good. So that's how I write, is by thinking about him, actually. But I used to think about completely different things when I wrote. And of course, in the early 60s, that's when I met David Bowie, who was then still called David Jones. And we were both so young. He was about 4 years older than me, so I was 13 or 14. And we used to consider ourselves songwriters. And the dream then was to have a songwriting contract to be signed to a publisher. And we'd sit in a coffee bar called the Gioconda, which is in London, in Denmark Street, what we've known as Tin Pan Alley, where all the music publishers were. And you'd sit there and nurse a cup of tea and make it last for hours, till maybe a music publisher would come in and look around in the cafe and say, oh, have you got any bass players? I need a bass player. Because underneath each of these offices was a little studio underneath where songwriters would go and try and sell their songs. And Bowie, well, he was still Jones, David and I would have our songs, and any chance we could get to get our foot in the publisher's door to sing our songs. And I had to be a singer in order to get the songs across. So why did I start talking about that? This happens often. I get asked a question. Put this down to senility, actually. But songwriting is what I've always done. It's what I do, and I consider myself a songwriter more than a singer. And I know with age the voice is going to go, but the songs hopefully will carry on forever. Somebody else put their hand up with two people, three questions. But I'll start with the oldest at the back, because we've got a young one. I'll come back to you afterwards. Tell me.
It's only a suggestion.
Yes.
We've got some of the finest tabla players here on the right, and we've got you. Is it possible to consider a song which you might want to sing and let the tabla players play with you?
The musician play with you.
Give you the compliment. Is it?
You mean now?
Yes, absolutely. One of your blues numbers.
Blues songs is quite difficult to do, actually.
Or any number which you care to...
Let me think on that, because I'm doing a session this afternoon. The thing is, Well, blues is very simple. In fact, I was thinking I might give you an example of a blues song. We might do that this next, Your Love Is True, so that you can see how I've taken a blues song and sung it for Swami. It doesn't usually work like that, but I could, let me think on this and let me talk with, but it's really the person who sets the rhythm, and let's face it, the rhythm is in a way the most important thing, but you need the keyboards, and harmonium is not an instrument I usually write with, although I have a harmonium at home, and I'm ashamed to say I think it's probably gathering a film of dust on the top, because I don't play it enough, and I should do.
I wasn't thinking of the harmonium, I was thinking of you singing and the tabla players playing the tabla.
Okay, well, I'm going to think about that. I will think about it. Well, are you the one he's referring to? I mean, I have worked with amazing musicians. There was one guy that used to come to Puttaparthi. He was a mandolin player called Srinivas. You heard of him? And I was in Puttaparthi in the studios at Sai Media Stalls and in the studios, and I'd seen Srinivas walk past, and I'd seen him perform at the Bharata Vidya Bhavan when he was about 14, and he was a child prodigy, and his fingers were so long and thin like spiders. And I don't know if you know, the mandolin, and he took a Western instrument and made it famous, has a neck about that long. It's not like he's got a whole thing to play, that long. And what he did with this was incredible. And as he walked past, I recognised him, although it was years later, since I'd seen him age 14. And I said to the guys in the studio, I've just seen Srinivas walking past. I really wish you could come in here and record with us tomorrow, but I wouldn't know how to reach him. And one of the boys said, I've got his telephone number. I said, well, give it to me. And I took a prayer, please, Swami, am I doing the right thing? I rang the number. I said, Srinivas, listen, you don't know me, but it's Dan Gillespie. Would you consider coming and playing in the Sai Studios tomorrow? And he said, yeah, I know you. Of course I'll come. He turned up, and I was working then with quite a hard, tough nut keyboard player in England, and he'd not heard really beautiful mandolin playing. And Srinivas opened his mandolin case, and out fell loads of pictures of Swami. And he picked up the mandolin and he started to just sort of fiddle around as if he was about to tune it. And this hard-nosed English musician, I saw tears coming out of his eyes, because what that man Srinivas could do on the instrument, and I think he died horribly young, aged about 41, awful, way too young. Of course, I've gone off on a tangent now, I can't remember what I was talking about, I was too busy thinking about Srinivas. But I'll bear this in mind. Maybe we can just do something with voice and I'll think of something over lunch. Somebody else had a question. Oh, okay, let's go to the youngest one here. Speak up very loud, though.
What was your favourite song you wrote for Swami?
My favourite, let me have a little look at what well, I'm going to do a song. Just hang on, because timing is all important here. Well, there are so many, actually. I'll do one later on today. Is there room for 2 songs? There might be just room for 2. I'm going to do, I don't know, I can't answer. They're all written for Swami, and they're all my favourite. Songs are like your babies. You're too young to know about having a family, obviously. But if you've got a family, I never had children because I was a musician, and you can't have children and be on the road. The two don't go together. But I've always considered my CDs, my albums, my children, and each song, there's no favourite one, I love them all. So we're going to do one song called Your Love Is True. Now this is with my jazz, and it's a jazz piano player and a blues musician, and if possible, it'd be nice if you could click your fingers to the song. I sang it for Swami, and everyone was clicking their fingers, which I used to be really good at when I was younger, but I've got arthritic hands now, and I can't make any sound at all. But if anyone is good at clicking, people always say, well, I can do it. And after a minute, I can assure you, your fingers will feel very tired. And if you manage to get from A to Z in the song, full marks for you. Anyway, it's just called Your Love Is True, because His love is true. Have we got it? Yeah. When I walk or when I talk, I Your love is true. You got my heart thinking of you. Your love is true. Your love is true. In troubled times, I think of you. All have passed, I'm coming back to you, and it's all because your love is true. When I speak, when I feel weak, you're there in all I do. Night and day, in every way, you're there in all I do. So if I seem to live my dream, it's all because your love is true. Your love is true. Your love is true. You got my heart thinking of you. Your love is true. Your love is true. In troubled times, it brings me through. My heart is lost. I'm coming back to you, and it's all because your love is true. Now you can really click or clap. And this is how a blues song is. 3 chords and 12 bars. It's very simple, but it has to swing. I think we've got 5 minutes left. We're going to do Shower the Rose Petals, shower. Now, you asked me, young man, which is my favourite song. The most popular song that I've ever sung for Swami, and I've sung it now about 3 times, is the one song I didn't write. How galling is that? But I wish I had written it. And it's written by the sister of Mrs. Puri, who ran the Bhajans at Russell Square. And her name was Gita Chanalia. And I was over in Chicago doing a size thing there. And I'd finished my talk and singing. And after dinner, she was just sitting in the corner. fiddling around on the harmonium, and I heard little bits of this song, and it's called Shower the Rose Petals. Some of you will know it, and I wish I'd written it, but I'm so honoured to be able to sing it, and I will probably mention more about the rose petals, putting them on his feet. What a joy. And even now, when I've gone out to sing and he's no longer there, I can see the older people and the VIPs in the veranda going, oh God, is she going to do it again? And I throw the rose petals all over the samadhi, and it makes me laugh, so that I then go on out and sing. Anyway, that's nice. We've got very little time, so we will do Shower the Rose Petals to finish with before lunch. So I've got to sit down the old bag. Shower the rose petals, shower the rose petals, shower the rose petals, shower the rose petals. Lord of the universe is walking towards us. Lord of the universe is walking towards us. Shower the rose petals, shower the rose petals, shower the rose petals, shower the rose petals. Lovely fragrance from the roses. Lovely fragrance from the roses. Lovely fragrance is Bhajan's devotee. Lovely fragrance is Bhajan's devotee. I am in heaven. Shower the rose petals. I am in heaven. Shower the rose petals. Shower the rose petals. Shower the rose petals. Faith is truly a wonderful gift. Faith is truly a wonderful gift. Fill your heart with love. Shower the rose petals. Fill your heart with love. Shower the rose petals. See the rainbow in the sky. See the rainbow in the sky. Baba walking softly by. Baba walking softly by. samasta loka sukhino bhavantu samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. I think I went 1 minute over, I'm so sorry. But Swami once said to me, after you've done that song, or once you finish singing Samasta Loka and Shanti Shanti, you shouldn't sing any other songs on that session. So with that, it's time for lunch.